Well, greetings. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you. Here we are, group coaching today. Oh my goodness, it is so important. Group coaching, really, really hot. We're also going to talk about team coaching. And I want to share with you, I'm so grateful you're here. Thank you. Thank you for being here in person. Thank you. Thank you. And also, thank you for watching the replay. So kisses to all of you. So grateful. What an important topic. And I want to share that becoming a group coach and a team coach was life altering for me. Gosh, 20 plus years ago. And so I just like to consider that today's topic is really important for you as a professional, for you in your life purpose, for you and what you're up to in the world. So we can use today's topic as a context for inspiration, motivation, education, and as we say in C Suite Network, perhaps some monetization as well. Okay, so there we go. So we'll just jump right in. I'm Kathleen Caldwell, founder of C Suite Networks, Women's Coaching and Consulting Council. I'm an author, speaker, group coach, facilitator, group coach advocate, and one-on-one VIP coaching consultant. So just like you, I do the gamut of things because I love variety. Anybody relate to what I'm talking about? Variety, yes. So big shout out to Carol Habemer. Carol's program last Thursday was extraordinary. If you had the great privilege to be there, maybe even the extra great privilege to be in the love seat. We're not going to say the hot seat, but the love seat. Yes. What exactly? What a great privilege that was. Carol, thank you. Thank you. The replay is up on our YouTube channel. And we've been activating it on LinkedIn. And so big shout out to you. It was great. You just conveyed and shared so much important information to elevate our LinkedIn profiles and our presence. So thank you to you for sharing your expertise on this. Good. Thank you. Thank you. And of course, just a quick run through and reminder, I think we're up to about 146 videos. We ladies have a treasure trove. We have millions and millions and millions of dollars and euros of content on our YouTube channel. And we talked about how to boost your income, how to do challenges. Sheila Anderson and Kathy Dirksen talked about how to reinvent yourself. Liz Luckett talked about how to amplify your voice. And Christina DiGiacomo using AI, next level AI tools for trailblazers. And we're all trailblazers here. And of course, Sheila Anderson talked again about perseverance. That was a super great program, too. They're all great programs. And so I'd love to share with you very quickly. I've been doing a lot of research for us because as thought leaders, we are staying ahead of the pack, so to speak. And not only for us in business, but also in life, to be a forward thinker and to be taking actions that make a big difference. And so I love this quote from Andy Grove, Andy Grove, founder of Intel. He talks about this inflection point, and we are at an inflection point, no doubt, in the United States and around the world, where, we don't know what the future is going to hold. We don't have a crystal ball. Is this different than any other time in our life? No, but I think that the stakes are a little higher. That's what I'm noticing. The stakes seem to be higher with an impending election. The economy is in confusion. Got a lot of civil unrest around the world. People are longing for the things that group coaching can provide. And so I want to jump into exactly what I mean by that. So, sisters, you are the solution. You're the solution. Okay. And so I like to show this very busy slide because to demonstrate what's happening with the state of coaching and consulting, we're adding more and more coaches and consultants to the economy. Okay, this is LinkedIn, some statistics. However, the exciting news is when people put in their title, you can see for going from left to right, top to bottom, people are putting in describing themselves as a coach or consultant. The numbers are increasing. However, let's just say now hypothetically, I believe there are about 85,000 ICF, International Coach Federation, credentialed coaches. I am one of them in the United States of America. So about 85,000. But on LinkedIn, people are describing themselves as a coach or a consultant. Okay. So they don't have a credential, whatever that means to you. However, the exciting thing is the numbers are quite different when you put in LinkedIn group coach or team coach. Okay. And so this is territory where you can really stake out an opportunity to gather people together. And we'll talk a little bit about why this is important to you in your business, but also why is this important to the participants and to, if you want to get into organization, team coaching, why this is important. Okay. So there we go. So group coaching, wondering if someone would like to jump in and read this ICF definition for us. I want to get your voices in here because I've got a little survey coming up in here just a moment. Would someone like to jump in?
I'll jump in.
Thank
So,
you.
what is group coaching? It is a coaching conversation that takes place in a small group setting. The goal of group coaching is to help individuals in the group develop their skills and grow personally. The group works together to set goals, gain awareness of key issues, take action, and hold each other accountable.
Deb, career, beautiful, fantastic. I'm loving that definition even more after you read it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. And so it's kind of obvious that it is. It's a little bit different than what, group coaching versus team coaching. And team coaching, again, there's so much opportunity for you, for me, for us in team coaching as well. And so, Deb, do you want to go on, or would someone else like to read the definition of team coaching?
What is team coaching? It
Thank you very much.
empowers teams to work toward continued high performance and ongoing development, requiring innovation, flexibility, adaptability, and goal alignment, all traits that coaching helps support.
Thank you very, very, very much. Yes. And so with team coaching, generally that's within an organization, an association, people who are all, it's an already formed kind of group or a team can be, all of these can be from different departments, divisions, different supplier teams, um, executive team, leadership teams. It can be so diverse. And so group coaching is generally people who don't generally work together on a day-to-day basis. Team coaching is generally for people who are already a readily formed team. Okay. So much opportunity in both areas. Okay. And so, with a basis of group coaching and team coaching, and these are group programs, it has a lot of different names, but I'm just curious. I'd like to get a quick discussion going with all of you is what are your experiences when you've participated in a group or a group coaching program, whether you've led one or for this particular discussion, the conversation to focus on, I'd like to focus on is when you were a participant in a group coaching program, what were you able to achieve and how did the group dynamic impact you? And so I'd love to just come off the slides here for a moment and let's have a quick conversation about that. So when you were a participant in the group, what were you able to achieve and how did the group dynamic impact you? Love to have someone share. Yeah, Carol, please jump in.
So my first really juicy experience with that was I participated in a mastermind where within 90 days we were to develop and launch something that we really wanted to do. And what I developed and launched within those 90 days was a self-paced online course on LinkedIn. And it became an offering that I could make to other people and at a very low price point because it was to the masses. And the group dynamic was so that I was not going to fail. There was no way I was going to fail. I was going to achieve that goal. And they had us set up with uh, accountability partners. And my accountability partner is someone that I meet with every 2 weeks since. I mean, that was during the pandemic. So it is an enduring relationship. She is also a coach, but in a very different market. And but she has all the right things. She knows about funnels and landing pages
Nice.
and all that stuff. And she was able to guide me to a credible person to teach me how to create a course. And that was good because I kept encountering people that were, I they left a bad taste in my mouth just from how
Mm,
huckstery they seemed. And I didn't
yeah.
want to learn from those people because I didn't want to learn how to be that. So she was able to guide me to somebody who was heart centered like I am, and it was such a good experience. So
Good.
I was then surprised when I started teaching as a group experience that
Yes.
the part of being a group was important, as is important or more so than my teaching. So that was interesting too.
So many great lessons, that we get out of being a participant of what we like, what we don't like, and what we can incorporate and how we can make it our own experience. Yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you, Carol. Great. Deanne, Deb, your experiences, what were you able to achieve? How did the group dynamic impact you in any sort of groups that you've participated in?
Deb's already had quite a bit to read, so I think I might go next. um, I don't recall any recent kind of situation like that where there was a large group over an extended period of time, as Carol was describing. What I think I can point back to, though, is last week's session where Carol did the LinkedIn profile review, because that was really, for me, effectively a group coaching session where we had two guinea pigs, me being one of them. And so I think from a what did I achieve was some objective feedback from someone who is experienced with that platform and its algorithms and how it functions, and has looked at goodness knows how many profiles, and has more experience necessarily than a layperson like myself of what doesn't work. So objective feedback was extremely useful. And also then as I'm doing my best to make sure that people understand my positioning, is then how I can use that profile to really reposition people to understanding that I run, unlike before, operate out of my
Yes.
company,
Yeah.
rather than a commoditized project resource. So
Yes.
that's a, let's say, a psychological shift or a psychological benefit. In terms of the dynamics, sorry, now I've got a frog. In terms of the dynamics, I would say that the environment was very encouraging. It was supportive. It was done in a way that was constructive, and I think you might have used the word with kindness, Carol. So it's
Yes.
about constructive feedback, and also then how you could, or the actions you could take to make other improvements. So that whole encouraging environment and supportive environment makes you feel safe, like that you're not oh, I'm the only one that doesn't know what I'm supposed to be, how my profile's supposed to be, all of those kinds of um, uh, imposter syndrome kinds of feelings. So that would be my example.
Brilliant, brilliant. And what I also noticed, Deanne, is that the group dynamic, we were energetically and also tactically and strategically supporting you by using the chat, and you were getting different perspectives on things, which extends the beautiful, sacred one-to-one coach-client relationship.
Yeah.
So it's like
The
you just
group's
got
providing that, as
yeah.
well as the leader of the session. Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
so good. You know, before I started doing this, there was someone in my community who would do a review, like for a women's group, and then make fun of the person who didn't, have it right. And I have heard so many stories about the wounded egos of people who were criticized publicly in that way. Um, and I never want to do that to anyone. So I'm glad that you felt supported and loved into um, new understandings.
Great. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. And I think that the experiences in groups, we can also see for ourselves what doesn't work for us in leading groups or participating groups, and to create the condition when we get this great opportunity, seizing the opportunity to create our own groups and our own environments, our own communities, to create our own culture, which is so profound, really profound. It goes beyond that one-on-one relationship to a new dimension, which is so powerful. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you. Great. Deb, anything to add about groups? Were you
Yeah,
able, what were you able to
you know,
achieve
I
that was
I
beyond
would
you?
yeah,
Yeah.
I would echo exactly what has been
Yeah.
said. To me, it's the group dynamic. We've all been in groups where we thought, oh, I have to do that today, right? And it might be an absolutely phenomenal content and things like that, but it was like Deanne was saying, if we don't feel like we can speak up, or like Carol, oh my gosh, if somebody's going to ridicule me, and then of course we all, hopefully all have those groups where it's like, oh my gosh, I get to do this today. And I think, obviously this is one of those where, we all feel like we can contribute, we're being heard, we're being respected. And I think that's just very important.
Such beautiful insights, Deb. Thank you. Thank you. We are a unique community, and we're not yet, we're not group coaching in this dynamic. And I think the cool thing, there's so many cool things about this because you get to create the environment that really works for you and that you enjoy. And as you said, Deb, that we get to go to, it's like a dream come true to be able to do this. And I really also believe it's such a privilege to do this, such a privilege. And I think that people get it. They feel the ripple effect of it. I've had so many people say in our council and then the Women's Success Accelerator program, where how you do the tactical parts of how you put all this together and how do you launch and all of that. But women have always said throughout the years, oh, I feel like I can relax now. I feel like I'm home. And that's always what I wanted to create is a homey kind of environment. Gosh, how do you create homey environments on Zoom? Well, we're doing it. So yeah, thank you. Thank you. Great. Good. So the intention of that little chunk there is my intention is to have us remember the experiences that we've had in groups and in group coaching programs or mentorship, masterminds, all those things. And remember that you get to create the dynamic in the group, and you get to create what works for you as the group leader and then what doesn't work for you. And it's such a powerful thing. And for you as a group leader to be in a group with other group leaders where we tell the truth on how to handle difficult groups. Sometimes group dynamics, oh my goodness, can be very challenging. And if you are not in a group, group for your own development, then also in a group of other people doing the same thing that you're doing or aspiring to do, it makes it really tough because we never want to be on our own on all of this. Try to figure it out for ourselves. There's no need to. Okay, so continuing forward, also thinking about for ourselves, and maybe this is something you would like to jot down, in your notebook there, is what were the valuable lessons that you learned from these group experiences? You learned some lessons. And I would really love to encourage you after our time together, just take a moment and think about what were those lessons that you learned from either the group leader or the group dynamic or how to structure things or, pacing of a group, what's too much, what's too little. What were the lessons that you got? And, always, thinking about how do you, as a group leader, how do you get everybody involved and get everybody's voices in the room? And for those that kind of want to shy away, it's okay. We honor that, but we invite people into the dynamic. Okay. And so, how then on the right hand side, how can you apply these lessons to make your groups even more attractive to different behavioral styles, people with different behavioral styles? There are people that are always the first to raise their hand. There are always people that want to kind of sit back a little bit. There's nothing wrong here, but how to really modulate your group dynamic style so you involve everyone and that everyone is richer for it. Okay. So this is part of the fun and part of the challenge. And, at a high level, group coaching and team coaching, I love this ICF definition here because, the ICF, the International Coach Federation, I love it. Been a member since 1998. They always have very lofty kinds of aspirations, and I appreciate that. But their definition too is that group coaching accelerates personal evolution, helps you and the group participants embrace broader understanding. It enhances cultural communication, eradicates stereotypes and biases, and promotes meaningful and deep relationships. Wow, you get to be the facilitator of that. That is so exciting, making an impact. Okay, so these are the reasons why this is so important. And I believe that this is my own little quote that we're seeing people being more boldly independent and also highly collaborative. We're seeing a world where people are really truly embracing being boldly independent on their own, independent, the work from home thing after COVID and beyond, but also this need. We need other humans. We need to be in community to do powerful things. And there's, we know as human beings, we have a longing to be with other people, other animals, other cats and dogs and humans and all kinds of things. So this is why group coaching right here, right now is so important and is you're being here today. It's so timely and you taking action today, very timely. Okay. So it's important for the world. It's important for you. You already have experience in how to do it because you've been in groups. And, just a quick synopsis here of why this is beneficial for you as the coach consultant. Obviously, you get to increase your impact in your income. When you work one-on-one, that's a very, very powerful sacred relationship, but you're limited in time. Okay. You're limited in resources. And I've created a hybrid business where I do one-on-one VIP coaching and I also do group coaching. So I have a hybrid of the two and I love it because I have a lot of time freedom and you can too. It's a one-to-many model where when you say, let's just say you have with the ICF model, they consider groups 1 to up to 15. Okay. That's what they consider a group coaching model, up to 15 participants. Okay. You find the number that works for you. But group coaching is a little hard when you get up to 20, 25, 30, 50. That's not generally group coaching. That's more of kind of a mentoring, education kind of curriculum. So there's the sacred number 1 to 15. Okay. Whatever that means for you. All right. But think about this. If you're delivering content and you're getting a discussion and you're mentoring, coaching, guiding many people at the same time, financially, it really works so much better. It's a one to many model. You also get to increase your social capital, okay? Because you're connecting and impacting more people at the same time, which is so fantastic. You add value to them in a very deep way, but also the community adds value to each other. Really, really powerful. You also, with group coaching, I find this incredibly, incredibly powerful. You get to impact a niche rapidly. I went in my early group coaching days, I went into financial institutions in my local community. Now, I've shared with you many times, I live in a town with about 27,000 people. Okay. My entire county is about 330,000 people. I live in a very small town, but I went into my regional banks, my local banking systems, and I did group coaching. I didn't know anything about financial institutions and how to coach people on their job, but I knew how to coach them on leadership. I knew how to coach them on teamwork. Okay. So you can get into a niche and then you can really make a difference very, very powerfully. The same thing with lawyers. I'm not a lawyer, but I've started group coaching programs for lawyers because I don't have to teach them how to be a lawyer. I can teach them and mentor them on how to be a leader in their community, how to work on their social capital, how to be more visible. Okay. Makes sense to each of you? Yeah. So you get to really go into something you feel passionate about, but expand their knowledge on a topic that you're an expert on. Okay. You get to, as we talked about, leverage your time and your energy, have more fun and variety. Oh my goodness. I love group coaching because I get to be with different generations, different people from different nationalities, different genders. I mean, I love it. I love it. And so you you will love it too. You will love it too. Okay, so I just want to pause. What's emerging for you out of this list, this very short list of what's in it for you? What's emerging as something that is really standing out to you that you say, oh, I really love that idea. I want to just get more into that. What are your thoughts? Your impact, your income versus one to one, your social capital, your value to your clients. Get into a new niche and really, really expand on it. Leverage your time, your money, your freedom, have more fun and variety, or add your own. So, what are your thoughts? What's emerging for you? Carol, do you want to jump in? You've got yourself unmuted. Deb? Dan?
What I have found is because what I want to teach is something that I've taught 1,000 times. I've got all these videos, I've got lessons from my um, uh, online course that I can roll out to those people. And so I'm starting to do that and realize that my investment each week is not overwhelming at all. You know, it's like, okay, well, let me scoop these things together and put them in an email and send them off and say, you know, these things could potentially be helpful as you're working on the blah section. And you know, it's just phenomenal. I really am enjoying having more time as opposed to when I'm working with an executive one-on-one. They really park in my brain for the entire week that I am writing for them, and it takes all of my concentration and all of my energy, and I'm doing the other things kind of on the side. And so I never really believed this notion of I would have more time, but I do.
And truth to be told, you're in the Women's Success Accelerator. starting, growing, and scaling your groups and your programs, your masterminds and councils. So that I'm confident is helping you with that. But
Yes.
until you really get into it, it's hard to it's kind of looking through the glass to the other side. And once you're in it, it is so fantastic because it really is time freedom. And you are also developing all of these fantastic assets, a treasure trove of content that can then be with a VA, with a team. You can turn that into modules, into courses, into bonus programs. There's so much that you can do. So we're not chained to our desk 24/7. Yeah, it's really exciting. And the vitality too, Carol, I can see that the vitality you have, it's reinvigorating, isn't it?
It is. So yeah.
Yeah,
And
fantastic. Just,
you know, being accountable every week to show up with good insight is a good thing too.
it absolutely is. Yes, yes. We get to raise up our image and our belief about ourselves when we jump into this. It's like people are depending on us, people are looking to us. Yes, yeah. And Deb, you have with trying not to die.live, you've got a group dynamic that is really, you've
Mm-hmm.
got a Facebook group and your group is emerging. And, of that list, what's really standing out for you for your future?
I think the biggest is being able to expand reach, right? Worldwide,
Yes.
and I think that's the cool thing is, unless you have a product or a service that is very brick and mortar specific, our audiences are around the world, and because we have the technology, we can reach out to those folks. And the tricky thing though is to not, and I love what Carol was saying, to not get caught up in I have to be available 24/7 because my audience is 24/7. No, I'm still going to have this period of time. I might look at it those other times, but I'm in Atlanta, so here's my hours.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And you get to say how it goes because
Mm-hmm.
it's your group.
Right.
So that's a
Mm-hmm.
great lesson is what are the boundaries that you're setting? And like we did with our group last night, I sent a text message a little late at 9 o'clock, and it's like, oh, but one-offs are okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's the
Mm-hmm.
spirit under which we're doing it?
Right.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you very much. Deanne, your thoughts. What's appealing to you on that list or even other lists of why this lifestyle is so important?
I think it's definitely the impact and the income, because the more people you reach, the more impact that you can have for on their behalf and for them to have their own impact. And of course, income's not something to shy away from, is it?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
The
Yeah.
other thing is, you're quite right about the you don't have to know about insurance to bring people, increase people's excellence around leadership. I don't need to know about banking, finance, or anything like that to help people be better leaders of their technology investment programs, and things like that. Unfortunately, there is a perception out there that you can't lead a project in a particular industry sector unless you've worked in there before. So, which is madness, but it's just there. So you have to kind of navigate your way through that and prove that that's not the case. I think,
Agreed.
while I'm not necessarily doing yet any specific group coaching, my when I'm working with on a project or program of work with a team, I'm coaching in some aspects, but certainly a lot of mentoring in others. That's an innate part of how I operate. So as a leader and a manager, so it's inherent in what I do. I think one thing from there is then, while I'm also working on all my other collateral and things like that, is, I think, as Carol was saying, sort of moving that into a place that can be monetized.
Completely. Completely. Yes.
So, because all of that is how I work and operate. If it's just one program of work with one customer, it's that immediate team that I can have an impact on. But getting that out to the masses is a different barrel of monkeys.
Yes. So many great points. And what I love, and we'll talk a little bit about just a short little snippet about organizations, group coaching and team coaching and organizations. I am starting the Women's Success Accelerator for corporate coaching, a specific group, which is we're focusing in on getting into corporations. And so this next little segment here is important for that. But what's so brilliant is once you're in, you can navigate around. I had contracts for 3 years within a little company. Oh my goodness. And I keep thinking, all right, I'm going to go back and reach out to them and get another get another thing going. But they have 300 employees, 300 employees. And how do you turn that into 3 years of content? Well, working in one little department with a group coaching, working in finance, working in production. They hear, what are you doing over there at the department? Well, Kathleen Caldwell's team intelligence. This is what we're doing. You bubble it up in the organization, and then their suppliers. Then you get introduction to their supply chain. Then you get introductions to their partners. I mean, it's a glorious, glorious situation. It's so glorious. And the income opportunity is, I mean, honestly, we should have 40 or 50 or 400 people on this this webinar because the income potential is so great. And generally, contracts where you are, where you're coaching and mentoring in group programs, let's just say you maybe have 15 people in a group, conservatively, you could be at conservatively 6 to 12K a month. 6 to 12K a month. Okay. So think about that. I mean, the income opportunities are just tremendous. Okay. So anyway, let me continue on. I'm getting so excited about this that I can't wait to make some calls this afternoon to get some more groups going. Okay. So very, very quickly, and we're not going to spend a lot of time on this, but why group coaching and team coaching is so important and so hot right now, especially right now, is, as you know, HR groups, HR departments and divisions, they do not have the bandwidth to handle this. They don't have the bandwidth. So they want to bring in a trusted partner. You are that trusted partner again. Okay. And why they love team and group coaching is it helps them with retention. It helps them with attraction of employees, of great employees. These are the table stakes again for attracting and retaining great employees is confidential VIP coaching and group coaching. I love the dynamic of you having the group and then you having VIP one-on-one with everyone. Now, that's a challenge, if you got 15 people, but if you have literally 20 to 30-minute coaching sessions with each of these leaders in the group, you want to double the number that I just gave you with coaching fees. It's extremely, extremely, valuable to everyone. Also within organizations, it's that they get to tap into all of the innovative ideas that people have from different departments and different groups as an opportunity for you to be the catalyst for people to unleash their creativity and their ideas. So group coaching is part of how they work. And also the group coaching for organizations, it's much more affordable because they're not paying for the one-on-one. So it's a win-win situation. And of course, it's peer learning, accountability, skill development, it's diversity, people getting together and sharing innovative ideas. You're the trained facilitator and coach of the group. You have skills that their people, their employees, their colleagues, their associates don't have. You get to bring your best in, okay? And also, it's creating a positive culture within the organization. You know, organizations, companies, associations, they've got to grow, they've got to be innovative, and they've got to deal with change. So you, as the group coach, can help them with all these things. Okay. What's in it for the participants? Well, good golly, we've talked about this. They get to evolve and grow in a safe environment. So, you know, from the very beginning, you set up the confidentiality agreement. Okay. And we cover all of this in the group coach, the corporate coaching program, is you get to set up the confidentiality agreement and how they do some sharing. What stays in the room, what's said in the room stays in the room. And so setting up strict confidentiality is a key. Okay. And also, this sets up, as Carol was saying, a great platform for accountability and responsibility. People make commitments and they show up and meet their commitments in group coaching. And then they have deep connections with other people. It's a very profound opportunity. They also have a new way of achieving their potential. They get to share things and say things that maybe they don't necessarily want to say to their direct manager. Okay. Those are groups that are very, very tight, very confidential, very sacred. And you, as the facilitator, get to set that up. Okay. Also, group coaching lets people create a vision for their life. You know, they can't really do this in the course of their day, their job, their responsibility. You get to be the facilitator of greater things. And also, you know, when you are a one-on-one coach only, that participant only gets your input, okay, during the coaching call. It's very important input, but during the group session, they get to get the 360, okay? That's really, really powerful. They get to get feedback and input and visibility from everyone else in the group, okay? And you sit back and marvel at the dynamic that you've created, all right? Really, really, really powerful and sacred. Okay, so let's complete our time here with kind of a wrap up. You know, what's in it for you? Very powerful. What's in it for the organization? If you choose to be a team coach or a group coach within companies and organizations, and also what's in it for the company, what's in it for you, what's in it for the participant. So as we leave here today, think about who would be the type of people you'd like to have in a group. Let's just say you're going to create a group here, okay? Create a group from your purpose and your passion. And what problems do you solve? Will the group solve? And what opportunities will it create? All right. Think about what's the theme or the purpose or the intention or even the structure of your group. Okay. Groups that only meet once a month are not very effective. Groups that meet at least twice a month are very effective. Groups that meet once a week are the most effective and they're the most intense. Okay. So a nice, you know, kind of middle of the road is what I do with groups is I have 2 sessions. One is an education session. One is a Q&A and kind of advanced ideas session. The third in our groups is a boss call, Board of Success Sisters. So where the coach does not jump in, that it's a group among the group. Okay. So then you have leaders that pop up and leaders that volunteer to lead the group. So people get an opportunity to be a leader in the group, a leader among leaders. So 3 calls a month and a week to integrate is a beautiful, brilliant situation. Okay. So think about what could be the theme. Maybe it's leadership, maybe it's team building, maybe it's handling change, maybe it's evolving, maybe it's interpersonal one-on-one relationships. There's so many different themes. Okay. Think about the vision for everything that you're sharing. Why are you doing what you want to do? And think about a vision for the group and how will the group make an impact? Okay. That's always the important because then you ask the participants, what's their intention for the group? How will they operate? Here's the rules. Here's the guidelines. Here's the boundaries. What does the group stand for? What does the group want to create? What's the impact from the group? Okay. So very powerful. We're covering literally months of content and work in just a slide here. Okay. But you can leave here today and start thinking about what's the kind of group that you would like to create. And groups, you can begin a group anywhere. Okay. Local corporations, local organizations, former employers, prospective clients. Maybe you want to create a group of, let's just say you're not an attorney, but maybe women attorneys on how to amplify their visibility or how to improve their health or how to, fill in the blank. Okay. Groups are with your current clients. That's the best way to start a group. Start a group surrounding one of your current clients, colleagues, either your current, your former, any organizations or associations, chambers of commerce, Rotary groups. I mean, it's everywhere. Business partners that you have, start a group with the business partners, any sort of community clubs, alumni associations, any sort of industry groups. I mean, it's incredible. Group opportunities are everywhere for you, everywhere. And my intention for today is to kind of open your eyes to have you look and say, wow, I could start a group everywhere. Okay. There's group opportunities, and people want to gather. We've confirmed that premise. Okay. All right. So with that, we got groups going all the time. We believe in groups here in the C-Suite Network Women's Coaching and Consulting Council. We've got a group on Saturday, Women's Saturday Success Circle, every week, different theme. Again, this is just a group that pops up, and it's very, very powerful, very meaningful. And also, we have programs that are extraordinary. So we're doing a challenge next week, how to become the category of 1 coach and consultant. And it's a 4-day challenge. And literally, it's going to be about 30 minutes a day, very powerful, how to rise above the noise as a coach consultant. So we've got a challenge going on next week. Angela Fowler. If you do not know Angela Fowler, she is incredible expert, and we're helping to promote her program. Her program is next week, 11 a.m. Eastern. It's going to be about 45 minutes. She's talking about how to be more accessible, how to increase your accessibility in your company, in your organization. And she's got a big, big, bold vision around the world. Okay. She has got now over 100 people registered, which is quite extraordinary. And she doesn't mind us saying this. Our beloved sister is blind. So she's doing a challenge. She's got a big, bold vision, and she fully admits it. She comes right out and says, hey, she's blind. So if she can do it, we can all do it too. All right. Very, very exciting. Be sure to register, because we got to have our websites. We've got to have all the things that we're doing accessible to everyone. And Angela has opened up a whole new world to me to understand that as well. And I'm deeply grateful to her for this. Okay. Next Thursday, we have our monthly quick reconnect. Very exciting things that are happening in our council for our members and our esteemed faculty. Okay. So if you have an interest in being a group coach or expanding your group or team coaching, we need to talk, because our Women's Success Accelerator, we've got a new group that's starting for corporate coaches. So let's talk, because we will be able to get into corporate and accelerate what you're doing in corporate. So let's have a conversation about that, how to start your groups, your masterminds, your councils, your VIP programs, how to succeed in corporate coaching and consulting, all the funnels you need, how to monetize your IP, and how to have a success mindset, and how to get into corporate, which is highly, highly lucrative. Okay. And let's have a conversation. Just book me on Calendly. I'll give you all the details, and it's your time. Okay. It's absolutely your time to do this. So, woo, thank you. Thank you. What's your biggest takeaway from our time together? This has been definitely breathing through a fire hose today. Yes, exactly. Biggest takeaway in our time together about group coaching, team coaching, starting groups, expanding groups, any of the above. I hope I can do this.
Yeah. So one of the things that I liked was when you mentioned women attorneys, because that actually made it
Yes.
fun to think about that as a group. So
Yes.
That was interesting how that like perked up my ears extra hard.
Fantastic. They will love you and you will love them. So let's talk about that, Carol. That is very exciting. Yes, exactly. Great. Great, great, great. Good. Who else? Your biggest takeaway? Woo!
The only limits we have are the limits that we've put on ourselves.
That's it, Deb. That's it. And we don't have to do it all. We can just like put our toe in. Like, hey, I'd like to start a group in a community around this. Okay. And then we just start. Okay. Yeah. It will evolve. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Deb. Yes.
It's more to think about.
More always to think about. That's it. That's it. That's it.
And yeah, more to think about, and what does or doesn't resonate and how to
Yes.
move that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I highly encourage all of you, and I will myself, we complete here in just a second, to just take a moment and decompress and say, okay, well, what could be the next move for me? What's one small step I can take? And book some time with me on Calendly, Kathleen Caldwell. Very, very simple. And let's have a conversation. And literally in 30 minutes, we'll have your group put together. We'll have a theme. We'll have an action plan, and we'll put together a mini plan on how to get going. So there we go. Ladies, you know we do that. So that's really great. That's it. That's it. Yeah. Okay, good. Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Would love to have you join our challenge next week. And let's become the category of one group and team coaches. Okay. Bye for now. Lots of love to each of
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.
See you next week. Okay. Bye bye. Thank
Bye.
you. Bye bye. Thank you. Thanks.